Okay, so I titled this video all of the behavior with very attractive women that you're going to notice will be manipulation. So this is all of the behavior with the 9s and 10s that you're going to have to see and learn for yourself. The women who have, let's say 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 plus social media followers, this is the behavior you are going to experience with the very attractive women. So I'm going to be breaking down each of these things. That way you can see this for what it is. And that way, as you start to level up your game, as you start to level up who you are, as you start to level up your own dating life, this is what you can experience and you can be well prepared. Let's dive in. The first thing you have to know is this. The hotter she is, okay, the more rude and disagreeable she oftentimes is, especially in the beginning. Okay, so the more rude and disagreeable everything becomes, or the whole attitude and the whole vibe and the whole frame of every situation, that is typically the attitude, is rude and disagreeable behavior you are going to experience the hotter she is. And what happens is it becomes a total psychological power struggle as she believes that her value is through the roof. So because she believes she's so sexy, because she believes that majority of guys want her, because she's used to guys doing anything just to get a date, she tends to not like most men. Okay, so when this happens, or when you see this behavior where they're very rude, they're very disagreeable, the reason being is because they despise most of the men who talk to them, because almost all of the guys who talk to them want a long-term relationship with her or from her, just from her existing. So her whole experience, right, her whole experience of existing on this world is guys doing anything to please her, guys doing anything to get a date with her, and guys being very agreeable just to hopefully see her. So because she sees this, because her whole lens of the world, or her entire perspective of the world of how men act, is typically guys who do not carry themselves with a lot of backbone, or guys who are won over super quickly, because that's her level of expectation of what she's used to, she tends to be very rude and very disagreeable. Okay, so this is what you have to know going into it. If you're going to be dealing with a woman who's very attractive, especially one who's on social media, this is what you're going to discover. So what I have found is there's 2 ways to get over this. Okay, and one of the ways I prefer more than the other. So the first way that you can try to get over this, or you can make this dynamic and this cohesion better between both of you, is through what most content creators would call a masculine frame, or being masculine and being, assertive and leading. Okay, now I do not advise this, because women are used to this by now. Women will see this. I do not advise trying to be this more like alpha stoic dude. The reason being is because she is going to see right through it, and then she's oftentimes going to disrespect you even more. So this typically doesn't work with the super attractive women. Okay, now the second option, or the way that works better, option number 2, is more of the approach where you're like the dumb kind of moron caveman type dude who has too low of IQ to even know any better. So you're like this dumb dude who doesn't even notice that she's being that way, and what you're trying to do is show that you really don't give a fuck. So the way that you know you're in the sweet spot with women like this is she's going to giggle a lot on these dates, or when you guys are together, especially in public, based off your mannerisms. If you act like you're oblivious to what's going on in your surroundings, a lot of times she feels safer with you, because you don't necessarily act like most of the cookie cutter textbook guys who just go along to get along like everybody does socially. You're kind of operating on your own terms, so she's going to be giggling a lot, and you're going to notice her say things like, "Oh my gosh, I can't take you anywhere." If she starts saying stuff like that, like, "Oh my gosh, you always this way," or "Never going to be able to take you anywhere, am I?" If she starts saying stuff like that, you're in the sweet spot. So she's becoming more attracted to you because you're not conforming to her frame. So keep that in mind. Now, let's get into the actual testing of what you're going to notice. So first off, what you're going to notice with these types of women is they are all about leverage. They want the psychological leverage and power over you, because they deep down in their heart of hearts are going into this interaction thinking that they are above you and have higher dating value than you do. They think that they are more sexy than you. They think that they are more attractive than you. And because she has been validated her whole life by a lot of men trying to do anything for a date. That's her default mindset going into it. So you have to know this. Going into this, they are all about the leverage. So when I say leverage, okay, here's how this actually looks. Let's say you send a text message to her trying to meet up with her, or you offer to take her out, or you guys should meet up sometime, or you're trying to set the frame where you guys are potentially going to see each other. What you are going to notice is with these types of women, it will almost always take a double text message of you going out of your way to reinitiate that conversation a second time. So what it actually looks like in real life is you send that text message and she's going to wait usually between 12 to 36 hours to either heart the message or like it, or she just won't reply. And keep in mind, this woman actually may have some interest in you and is actually looking at you as a potential companion, but she's still going to test you right away. And you are going to have to almost bend and break just a little bit a lot of times with this one, because what you're going to notice is that she wants the leverage. So it's going to take you reaching out a second time. If you reach out a second time, that's a lot of times when they'll say yes, or they'll say, oh my gosh, I was so busy with work the past couple days. Yeah, I'm free this day. So she's trying to make your interest level seem higher. Just keep that in mind. If you are not oblivious to what's going on and you're aware of what's going on, I can tell you this, sometimes you can get away with not following the rules or breaking the rules and making it work to your favor and not get punished for it as a low value needy guy, because you are aware of what's going on and you're going to use it to your advantage just a little bit so that way you can get her out on that date. So keep that in mind. A lot of these women, a lot of times, it's going to take you reaching out a second time to get her on that first initial date. If you don't believe me, go try it for yourself. Me, myself, I have almost every single status metric on paper that a guy would want, and I have a huge social group. So I'm going to tell you this, if I still experience this type of stuff after doing this, the hotter the girl gets, the more she obviously knows her value and what she brings to the table as far as attraction. You are going to have to see this stuff for yourself play out. Now, if you play your cards right, you are still able to take these girls out on dates and have relationships with them if you're patient. So stick with me because this is going to get good. Now, the first thing that you will notice is you're going to notice super long time delays with text messaging. So what I can tell you is this. First off, you need to keep your messages very short, no emotion, no punctuation, okay? You cannot be in the frame where you are trying to please her at all. And what you're going to notice is super long time delays. So you can expect 12 to 36 hours between her responses, because what this woman is doing is, you have to understand that she is casually dating. And I know that this is a bitter truth that a lot of you guys are going to have to swallow, but this woman is exercising her options and casually dating. She's seeing how this dating app is playing out. She's seeing how this social media app is playing out with direct messages. She is talking to this dude over here that she met at a bar or at a club. She has this guy that she's consistently been seeing for 2 or 3 months, but there's a chance he might be going weak for her or he's getting too attached, so she's slowly exiting the interactions with him. All of this is going on behind the scenes. So you have to understand that psychologically she's weighing her options. A lot of times with these time delays, half of the time it's some sort of tactic to get you emotionally invested, but the other half of the time is she's literally just talking to that many other guys. So you have to understand this, like, very attractive women have hundreds of options instantly at their fingertips. So their cell phone is loaded with a bunch of potential companions. So that's number one. Just expect super long time delays. No double texting, okay, unless this is in the initial interaction when you're setting up that first date in the beginning weeks, okay? Some of you are going to have to go through this yourself to see this play out. But number two, what you're going to notice is this. Post-date, okay, so once you guys are together on a date, after that date, okay, she's used to men texting her first saying that they had a great time and that they would love to see her again. This is what she's used to. Even for men who are financially stable, even from men who are good looking, even from men who are rich, and even from men who are tall. She's going to be used to a lot of guys reaching out first to express their interest level because that guy thought that the vibe and the chemistry was good. These women who are very attractive know how to appear very pleasing on dates and amazing to get along with, and they bring very, bubbly, happy persona and vibes. But a lot of this is a way to gauge your interest level to get you to open up and drop your guard emotionally. So the more interest you show, the less she's going to like you. So post-date, she's used to men texting her first. So when you don't, like if this woman is gorgeous, she's used to this. Okay, since she's used to this, what that means is this. When you do not reach out first, she will text you first, oftentimes within 30 to 90 minutes after that first date's over. And what you're going to notice is this. Very beautiful women communicate more after the first date, okay, if you play your cards right. Less attractive women are used to more casual romance or potentially just hooking up with an attractive guy who's a baller. So what that means is a lot of times women who are less beautiful than the girls that you're really wanting actually will not reach out after that first date more. And the reason being is because if she views you as very attractive as a man, the thing is that she doesn't even expect this to go anywhere, or she feels like it probably won't go anywhere. So she's just happy that she got to spend the couple hours with you. So keep that in mind. Very beautiful women will reach out more to you after that first date if you don't, because her whole life, all she's had is a bunch of men try to express their interest level and tell them what a great time that they had. Remember, I told you earlier, most of these women who are very beautiful despise men because a lot of these men just want long-term relationships with them instantly, even though the woman didn't have to do anything to earn that guy's attention or validation. And now hypergamy is not satisfied, and she questions your dating value, even if you have a lot of things going for yourself. So keep that in mind. That's number 2. Number 3, okay? Past the first date, you cannot try to see her. Okay, number 3, I'm going to explain why. Past the first date, you cannot try to see her. You can't. So I wrote this down here. Regardless if you two slept together or not is completely irrelevant. Okay, even if you only met for, let's say, 45 minutes for ice cream or something like that, and you guys went out on one date, you have to understand this. Her hypergamy needs to do 100% of the pursuing, or she's going to start to hate you and pull away from you. And I'm telling you this because if you guys slept together or not, it's irrelevant. After that first date, you have to realize the more beautiful the woman is, the more this woman has been through experiences where her lens of attraction of how men behave is going to be men who are very pleasing, and it's going to be men who are doing anything to show their interest level to get that second date. So the second that you don't, you're going to start to position yourself as a higher leverage, higher value dude, okay? And since you're bringing more to the table, she sees that you maybe are used to women of her level of attractiveness. It's going to raise her interest. So keep that in mind. Past the first date, you cannot try to see her. Even if you wait a week, okay, and then you try to set that second date, you even trying to reach back out and see her is going to imply too much interest. Some of you are going to have to wait 2 or 3 weeks sometimes for her to reach out to you a second time, and she's going to wonder, I wonder what's going on because he didn't ask me for a second date like the other 200 men in my inbox. So keep that in mind. Past the first date, you cannot try to see her, regardless if you two slept together or not. Even if you only met for 45 minutes for ice cream, her hypergamy needs to do 100% of the pursuing, or she's not going to like you. So this is the first page. What's on the second page? Next, the next thing that you're going to notice, okay? They will interest test you so hard. They are interest testing you at every text message. They are interest testing you at every sentence that comes out of your mouth. They are constantly screening your value. They are seeing, where does this guy stack up compared to all of the other guys? She's going to be looking at the dudes on her phone and she's going to say, this guy's an entrepreneur, this guy's a musician, this guy's a professional athlete. She's going to say, this guy has 10,000 social media followers for whatever reason. She's going to be looking at all of this. These women interest test the hell out of you, okay? If she says that she wants to see you, so I'm telling you this, if she tells you that she wants to see you, listen to me very closely. If she tells you that she wants to see you, you cannot reciprocate that interest. If you tell her on that text message back that you want to see her too, or, yeah, that's great, I'm free Wednesday. Oh, that's great, what are you doing Friday? Watch her lose interest and have something come up to where she's going to flake and pull back. All you can do at this point is heart that message that she sent or like the message. That's it. So just like a lot of times you had to reach out twice in the beginning, now that you guys have already had that first date or you guys have already seen each other a couple times, she needs to start to reach out to you more, because what you are trying to do is you're trying to show that you are not necessarily sold on the relationship or the potential future with her yet. You have to show that you're not sold on her yet. And this is very important. So this is an interest test. If she tells you that she wants to see you, what will happen is after a date or two, between 4 to 8 days will typically go by, and she'll say something like, when do I get to see you again? Or, hey stranger, what have you been up to? Or she's going to say, are you busy this Friday? Or she's going to even be overt and say, I'd love to see you again, or when do I get to see you? Okay? If you take that bait, because that's what it is bait, it's an interest test, you're going to typically lose. What you have to do is you have to heart the message. Okay, or you have to like the message. So that way when she sees you did not reply verbally, all you did was heart it or like it, she sits there and she goes, I wonder if that's a yes or not. And then what happens is a couple days go by and she has to re-communicate on that text message again and reach back out to you to say, so when are you free? You're getting a double layer or a double level of investment. Okay? Another thing that you could do is if she says, I would love to see you again, you could text her back and put, I know you do. But once again, that's coming from that whole stoic, be a alpha type mentality that a lot of times doesn't get you anywhere, because they can see that you are using some sort of regimented personality process that probably isn't you either. So keep that in mind. From what I have seen, it's best if you just emulate their behavior and you act oblivious to what's going on. A lot of times the same cards that they are laying towards you are the same, techniques that they are using. That's what typically will work best. So keep that in mind. I heart the message, or I'll just like the message, and that's it. The next thing that you're going to notice is they will interest test you even more in real life, and I'm going to show you exactly how it looks. Okay? Every date, or every time you guys meet up, or every time you guys will hang out, here's what you're going to notice. She will say something like, I only have an hour and a half to be here, or I have something to do after this. It could even be 4:15. Let's say it's 4:15, and she could say, I have to get going by 5:30. So you're sitting there and you're like, okay, so we only have a little bit over an hour, and you're questioning why she's on this date or why she's seeing you, even though you guys have already had that first date or whatever the case may be. What you're going to notice is they are trying to not give you a lot of time. They're going to interest test you to see if you want to keep seeing them. So what I can tell you is this. If she says like, okay, I have to leave by 5:30, or I have to get out of here in 70 minutes, or whatever the case may be, a lot of times she doesn't have anything to do. You have to understand how this works. She has nothing to do and nothing going on. The only thing that she wants to see is how you're going to react to her saying that. So she doesn't have anything to do. She wants to see how bad you want to stay with her, or how much you would like her to keep seeing you. So anytime as a guy you say, oh, just stay a little bit longer, or can't you just stay a little longer, or oh, that's so short, why only an hour? The second that you go down that road is the second that she sees you're not pre-selected with other women at her level of attraction or attractiveness. Keep that in mind. So you have to just say, all right, cool. That's it. You have to play this so cool. You have to play this like you don't have a care in the world. Next up, during and after sex, if you guys are sleeping together, okay, she's constantly going to be paying attention to how invested you are in her as a person. So what that means is she's constantly monitoring your eye contact level. Subconsciously, she's constantly going to see how much you want to snuggle up and cuddle. She's going to see all of that stuff, okay? Signaling too much hand holding, too much kissing, too much cuddling, any of that stuff. So during and after sex, she's going to see how interested you are in her as a person. And a lot of times what you're going to notice is the more you give any sort of sub-communication with your eyes that say, hey, I really like you, or I love you, or I'm really invested into you, or any of that type of stuff, it's going to instantly lower her attraction, even if you are great in bed. You can be great in bed, doesn't mean anything. They are looking at your emotional investment level in them as a person, and the more emotional investment you have into them, the more she knows that long term you're going to go weak for her beauty, and then she's going to exit. So keep that in mind. Refrain from any and all in-depth conversation and communication after or during. What you want to do is just keep things surface level, and if she wants to talk to you, then you can answer those questions or you can respond accordingly, okay? But you want to remain cool as a cucumber the whole way through. I would even say that if you guys are sleeping together, afterwards, You act very nonchalant. Maybe you turn on the TV. You act like you're in your own world watching the TV. You're not really trying to make too much communication or added eye contact other than when she's asking you questions. You just remain super cool, super nonchalant, okay? Very important. She's constantly testing your interest level even when you two are together, even if you guys are sleeping together. And then last but not least, what you're going to notice is this. If you want this woman to fall in love with you, or you'd like to keep dating her or keep seeing her, here's the thing. Women understand this. A woman knows that the more beautiful she is, the more men are going to want her long term. And that's just how attraction works. Like, she knows that that's what you're going to be thinking, so keep that in mind. If you want her to fall in love with you, you need to expect it to take between 6 to 12 months, because she is casually dating or she's casually entertaining other options. What that means is, even if you two are seeing each other, there's going to be periods of time, especially if this woman travels a lot. A lot of these very attractive girls have travel connections where they're constantly traveling the world and having fun. You will not hear from her a lot of times for days or weeks at a time. That's okay. It does not mean she's forgotten about you, and it does not mean she's lost interest. She is seeing other men or talking to them on her cell phone or whatever the case may be, and what she's doing is she's screening for who goes weak. So if you play your cards right and you just stay patient, right? Because a lot of you want a beautiful girlfriend, or a lot of you want like a beautiful wife one day or something like that, right? I haven't met a whole lot of guys, like even in my community that we just started, we're now closing in on over 760 guys. There's not a whole lot of guys who say, you know, I just want to have a rotation for the rest of my life. A lot of guys would like to find a beautiful companion or a great girlfriend to be with. So keep that in mind. There will be periods of time that you will not see her or hear from her for days or weeks at a time. That's okay. All she's doing is seeing which men are going to go weak for her and over communicate that interest level. That's all she's doing. The number one word that I think is best to learn as a man as you're going through this dating game yourself is going to be the word patience. If you say 6 to 12 months, you wake up, you look at the mirror, you say, hey, I don't plan on getting sick anytime soon. I don't plan on dying anytime soon. I plan on living a long, healthy life. I'm not in a rush, right? I'm not in a rush to go out on another date with her. There's millions or billions of women on planet Earth. I'm not in a rush to settle down. I'm just going to be cool as a cucumber, and I'm going to see how this plays out for myself. You're going to watch her interest level raise towards you because you're not making the mistakes that all of the other guys are making. So this right here is some of the advanced interest tests, and this is all of the behavior that I have noticed from very attractive women that I've been with over the past couple years. If you can learn to master this stuff and you can learn to not show your interest too much, you're going to have a lot of these women want consistent dates and relationships with you, and you're going to notice that naturally she'll just close off her other options because hypergamy optimizes for the best, and the guy that she's emotionally investing in is the one man who has that imagery and that fantasy in her mind. And what happens is she's closed off from all of the other options on an emotional level. And because her emotions are going to basically dictate her every decision, because she's going to be loyal to those emotions, not loyal to you, what's going to happen is the more you kind of see through this, you're able to actually just see this for what it is, and a lot of times have way better dating relationships and interactions with women. If you like this video, I want you to hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.